Hello, hello. Welcome back, people. I'm back once again. Um, uh, yeah, sorry about being 30 minutes late. Gym took longer than I expected. And then after that, I still wanted to enjoy some chicken. So that's what I did. So we're 30 minutes late. But still, uh, I'm streaming, so, eh. 2 lives in a day. Yeah, I said in the last stream that I was gonna come back after gym. And by the way, gym went fucking beautifully. It went beautifully. Honestly, could not be more happy with how it went. It was very enjoyable. Very, very enjoyable. I got a new what the fuck do they call those? When you hit a new record? A PR, yeah. I got a new PR. What do you train in the gym? Today was chest. Today was chest. So just like all shit related to chest. And then I did shoulders after that. Yeah, really happy. Not just because of the PR, but just because the whole uh the whole session went like very smoothly and nice. What did I miss? Well, we you didn't miss much. It was a very short stream. We just designed this little guy. Basically just his body, because the head was already oh, and yeah, Giga Chad, Sigma, Looks Maxing, Hatchfolk. You also missed that, I guess. This is the Virgin Beta Hatchfolk, and then the Giga Chad, Sigma, Looks Maxing, Hatchfolk. So you missed that, I guess. But besides that, not much. Can can they still throw it back? They never were able to throw it back. What are Hatchfolk? I'm gonna make a video about the Hatchfolk. They are the residents of the trenches, the inhabitants. Yujiro Hanma Hatchfolk. Yeah, let me pull up the chat on my phone and then we can get right to it. Okay, Dwarf, come here. Prop up my phone. Thank you very much. Foot or no? No foot. No. These All Tomorrows are looking sick. Yeah, I'm definitely taking some inspiration from All Tomorrow and how nutty their human equivalents or human evolution shit goes. Is Hatchfolk the final name of the rats you mentioned? Well, they're called both. They go by multiple names. A lot of things in the world go by multiple names. It just makes sense. That's how things are in our world as well. You know, the Hatchfolk is the proper name. Rats is what the soldiers call them. Some people just call them bastards. I mean, you could call them anything. But yeah, rats and Hatchfolk are the two main ones. Are they edible? If you think about it hard enough, everything's edible. Mad God, everything's edible. So telling you yes doesn't change anything. Hello. Ow! So, welcome to the stream. Were they ever human? Yes. They got strong marsupial vibes. Oh, yes. Yes, they do. Oh, we're making monsters. How dare you? Not monsters. They're people. They're beautiful little people. But yeah, so I feel like to get myself to draw more efficiently, I need to actually write down what I do next. Steps help a lot, so okay. Are not flaws. Then clothing. Okay. So let's do the anatomy first. It's Hatchfolk. They're called Hatchfolk. What would they taste like then? I'm not gonna answer that. We're not going down that rabbit hole. No, no. Okay. I'm glad I wrote down the parts that I liked, so we can go off of those and maybe try to accentuate them. Because this isn't the final design. This is just the first, literally the first sketch I did. So let's see if we can push this further. So I do like the hunched shape as well, or like sort of the slight curve and then the bump up into the head. I enjoy that. So let's keep that going. There you go. Also, I've loosened up a lot since the last stream, so I'm talking more normally as well, which is nice. Yeah, there you go. Curve up into the button nose, and the line in between the lips. The head's too detached from the body, I think. The angle is way too awkward. But I'll try to make it work. I could probably put it here. It's just... It's gonna be at a weird angle, but I think that'll be fine. I can't draw. Damn it. Stop the selection. Okay, this time I'm gonna focus on not really... This one is like a lot too muscular. So I'm sort of gonna just go with the contours of the body more than muscle. Though I do want to accentuate the forearms a bit. We got the ribs, the chest, down here. This is a very weird angle for him to be at. I don't know why he's looking up this way. It's fine, though. It's just... Okay, so if he has his leg up, then it'll be about at the middle of the torso. can be pet. Uh, we'll discuss it in the video. These are people, pretty much. Like, they're not dimmer or more stupid or, like, animalistic or anything. What a handsome fella. Yes, yes, very handsome fella. Yeah, I don't know why he's looking that way. Maybe he's going... God damn it, it's another Sigma one. He's showing off his jawline. He's pointing at his jawline. God damn it. I can't believe it. All these Sigma fucking Hatchfolk. He's mewing. There you go. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't like this. This is a failure. Whoops, I bumped the mic. Sorry about that. Why are you people so desperate to eat everything in the world? Have you watched too much Dungeon Meshi? Is that because it's the new hot thing? Is to eat fucking everything? I'm not gonna give any lore about them in the stream, because I'll keep that for the video. I don't see the point in talking about it on stream, because, well, I'll just rather wait for the video. Yeah, hold on. Let me draw their limbs. So, their limbs, I mean, they are muscular, because they're fucking thin. So you can see the muscle, but that doesn't mean that they have a lot of muscle. Okay, something like this. I want like a certain flow to them that I'm still trying to figure out. You should make something with mandibles. You mean like bugs? Or like just anything with mandibles? That is very broad. I mean, eventually I'll probably make something that happens to have mandibles. Is an underrated concept. Well, yeah, I don't see a point of these getting dumber. You know, if they like keep evolving in a direction that's away from human, that doesn't mean that they get dumber. Being intelligent like a human is still beneficial to their survival. So they just still be human. Hey Simon, what's the difference between a witch and a mage? I just don't understand. Fuck off, Sideka. That question has been haunting me the whole time. We'll get to it eventually, okay? God damn it. We'll get to it eventually. And then I can't wait for that video that explains it to eventually come out. And then people will still ask me it because they didn't fucking see it or something. I'll have an aneurysm at that point. If they are smart as a human, can they get depressed? Now think about that really hard. If they're literally the same as a human, do you think they can get depressed the same way that a human can? Think about it. Like just maybe a little more. Do they wear clothes? Yes, they would wear clothes. I'm just focusing on their anatomy at this point because that's sort of the most interesting part about them is that they have like a very strange anatomy. Can we eat them? Sedeka, I'm gonna rip your head off. What are these? Hatchfolk. They're hatchfolks. They're the denizens. Fun word I learned. The denizens of the trenches. Do they live in hatches? Yes, that's the idea. Is that they're called hatchfolk because the entrances to their burrows are covered by hatches. So you usually see them sort of coming out of these little holes. Okay, so I don't. I'll avoid drawing the arm in front because I do want to show the anatomy of the thing. So their chest muscles would be. I'm sort of thinking about, or I'm currently drawing one in like a more crouched position. This is the bump of their longer hip bones. So then it's the divot, and then it's ass, and then the leg, which also covers everything. Why the fuck did I draw it from a side angle? Okay, and the ass muscle, where does the ass muscle go? It goes this way, doesn't it? And then disappears somewhere in there. I don't fucking know anatomy. But I think I'll still be... Bonky McNoggins! Welcome to the stream. Damn it. I saw the red out of the periphery of my eye. Jesus Christ, thank you very much for the $100. God, save it for the dwarves, Bonky. You could buy 2 whole dwarves with that. But yes, thank you. Very much appreciated. The silent patient? The silent patron has once again graced us with his presence. There you go. Thank you very much, Bonky. I appreciate your support very, very much. I I worry that my thanks for your support seem less and less genuine every time, but they are still the same amount or even more and more genuine because Jesus Christ, you allow me to buy so much chicken. The body feels wrong for some reason. This one's okay, this one's too fucking bulky. Right? Cuz he's squashed down, but like the main shape of their body is that they have like this sort of rib cage. So what if it like their stomach and then their pelvis? I'm just gonna have to draw it over and over again until it sort of settles into place, I think. And it's gonna look like a bit of a mess for quite a while. Just because I'm trying to figure out the damn thing. Okay, and then the back. I think I have to sort of focus on their general flow more than their anatomy because as soon as I stop thinking about like, oh, where do all the muscles fit, I feel like they look a lot better just because I'm just thinking about how the drawing flows. And obviously, does this anatomy make sense? No. I'm terrible at anatomy, honestly. So it's purely for the sake of like making it look uh convincing enough. But like if you look too close at this, none of this makes sense. this is Yeah, but this is pretty human, which, I don't know, kind of loses the point of this. You know, I feel like this is too human again. We gotta skew the proportions more. Or I just sort of didn't really think about these proportions while drawing this, which I really should have. I can sort of change it a little bit, I guess. Like, try to scrunch down the chest a little bit here. And then have the body be more curved. Like this. So then I'll have to move the leg forward. Like to about here. Make their arms bigger? No. No. I don't think that's the thing I should be doing for them. Or like, their arms I think are a good length. They don't need to be that big or long. They should be quite short. And then have sort of like very big, bony hands. Then like that slight curve to it. Long. I've never actually drawn their face from the side. I don't know what the fuck they look like from the side. Let me think. So their nose turns down and comes out. Hold on, I'll adjust it a little bit over time. That goes into the ear and the under jaw. Doesn't have a chin anymore. Okay. And the face is a little long. My hands hurt for some reason. Bro does not mew. Yeah, he does not mew. This one doesn't mew. Okay, do they... So, their eye wouldn't be that sideways as well. It would be sort of more forward facing. And they'd have a little bit of a curve down before the nose. There, the head is extremely small because I just sketched it at that size. Let me make it bigger. They don't look that hideous, in my opinion. I feel like that's not a bad face, right? That's a mother could love that. Don't you think? I don't think they look too terrible. And obviously this one's one without any deformities. This is like the perfect Hatchfolk, pretty much. I doubt the average Hatchfolk would be this symmetrical and perfect. They'd definitely be more rugged and mutated and bumps and boils and but I mean even so I don't think they would have many tumors, you know, because or like they wouldn't succumb to many of the same illnesses that other the soldiers in the trenches succumb to because they've been living there for so long. They'd probably, you know, gain like tougher stomachs, more immunity to those kinds of diseases and shit like that. Right? That makes sense to me. They're Brad Pitt. Yes, this is the Brad Pitt of the rat world. Yeah, I'm liking this. I like this, even though it's like in a weird, goofy pose. I think that's good. It's like weird, artsy, kind of. Yeah, and they also have like a weird sort of permanent smile on their face, like they're fucking grinning, which I don't mind. I think that's kind of fun. Their mouth, I feel like, resembles that of like a camel. You know, they got that camel sort of front droop a little bit. Hatchfolk are the denizens. I'm gonna keep using that word until it gets old. Of the trenches. They live in the trenches, pretty much. This arm is too fucking long. Let me pull that in a little. Come on. Fucking press the button. God damn, I missed it 5 fucking times. Oh my god. Is there a... Hold on. I'm searching up a hotkey to cancel selections in Krita. This is... Control A, Control Shift A, deselect all. Control Shift A. I... When it bothers me enough, I start learning more hotkeys over time. Like I for now I know the hotkey for combining layers, like merging them, and creating groups. That's the only 2 hotkeys I know. Now I'm gonna learn another one because I feel like this has become too inconsistent where I circle something to select it and then I click once away with the selection to deselect it. But I keep like shifting my mouse a little bit so it's like a tiny fucking selection area left. So I can't draw. So what was it again? It was Control Shift A. Guess I'm gonna start using that. Control Shift A. Huzzah! It deselects everything. Can't believe it. Okay, there you go. Learn something new. Okay, there you go. I think that's good. Yeah. By the way, anybody who's like asking questions in the chat about the Hatchfolk, I won't be answering them because this is literally the next video I'm working on, and I have a script all about them. So you'll definitely get to learn about them when the video eventually comes out. And I want to avoid. I'm trying to get better at not talking too much about things that are upcoming on stream, just because, well, it just gets very repetitive because the same questions get asked over and over again when new people come in, uh and then it would be cool if they evolved bioluminescence. No, it's way too overdone. I feel like the bioluminescence thing. Everything fucking glows in fantasy worlds. The mushrooms glow, the creatures glow. I mean, I get it. It is very neat when things that don't normally glow, but the rat people, or these people in particular, I don't think they need to glow. That's gonna be goofy as hell. And obviously, I don't think it would be advantageous in their like, if you think about it, oh yeah, they're in a dark environment. Make them glow. Genius. But if you think about it more, sometimes you don't want to glow. And I mean, I guess you could say that they could shut it off as well, but then why the fuck have they evolved to turn into a flashlight? Just have them be rat people, and they can make their own light. They have torches and oil and shit like that. It's the creatures that, or the people that live in the trenches. Okay, I think I'm happy with this. Uh, let's continue on to their clothing first before I just keep drawing naked rat men and people keep asking, do they wear clothes? They do, and that's what we're gonna design now. So, when it comes to their clothing, they, I don't think it would be anything that interesting because, so let's write some prompts for their clothing. So, scrappy, ragged, scavenged, because most of their clothes would be made up out of things that they scavenged from soldiers in the trenches. So that they would just be made up of different articles of clothing from soldiers, pretty much. They would, the only thing that differ, or to make it stand out more, I feel like uh hmm, a lot of like ripped cloth, I think, would be good. Just layers upon layers of torn old clothing on top of each other, like turning into like a one singular mass, you know? Just to see how worn and old, and maybe like they reuse the same clothes over and over again as well. Because if they're still usable, then they'll just keep using them. So it's not like, oh, my jacket's getting old. Let me steal another one off of a soldier. No, they'll wear it till it fucking disintegrates. And if it didn't, then they'll give it to their kids or some other friend who needs it instead. Yeah. Well, no, they wouldn't be wearing like specifically soldiers' uniforms. I feel like they would be modified enough that you can't instantly tell that, oh yeah, he's just wearing a full fucking. I want to avoid them wearing like a full, just the whole uniform of one of the soldiers. You know, like it's all scraped together. Ripped cloth. Then the gas mask is the only thing that's gonna be like the main focus, because it's, I have like quite a good idea of what I want it to be. It's gonna pretty much be a rat head. It's gonna be long. leathery gas mask with like maybe a seam running down the middle of it and straps holding it to the head. And then it's going to be packed full of herbs and spices and things that smell good because in this era they still believe in miasma theory, so like the same idea as like witch doctors is still prevalent basically, but I don't want them to look like witch doctors, but they still do the same thing, which is like stuff herbs and shit into their gas mask. And then it continues on into a tube which connects to like the filter in inside of like some sort of pouch. And then they would have added, like some of them would have added sort of cups to the back of their ears to enhance their hearing even more, which gives them the rat appearance. And then also probably just for fun, like put some fucking strands of something as whiskers, maybe. That'd be funny. And then just like very scrappy cloth, just to the point you can't even tell what the hell it was before it disintegrated into just strands. I think having them have like a very thick pile of instead of having them, they wouldn't be wearing much like anything thick close to their body. So that means like their limbs would probably be covered with like thin undergarments. So like just a shirt, you know, and sort of like tied to the body maybe. I don't know if I really want the tied to the body thing, cuz yes, it does make things look more scrappy. Like when you see a lot of scavenger designs or like apocalypse designs and stuff like that, they'll have fucking like rags and bandages holding their clothes together like this, which adds interesting shape. But when you think about it, how the fuck do they take that off? Like, who the fuck? Who? Like, I get it. I don't think they'll take it off that often, but still, like, who the fuck just goes, yeah, let me add some wrappings around my arm right here, where outside of my clothes, just because, and then around my fucking wrist as well. It doesn't make sense, really. Use rope instead of bandages still doesn't make sense. Why would you be tying your clothes together? Easy to move through tunnels? True, true. That is a good reason why they could do that. So we might actually have an excuse to do that. I mean, okay, the clothes would have tight areas, but they would be tailored towards normal people. You know, if they're stealing off of normal people, then most clothes on a rat would be loose fitting, right? So they would need to tailor it themselves. But I feel like if we think about it more, I feel like we can say a lot about the rats with their clothing. Instead of having them wrap their clothes like with rags and stuff like that, which they would probably do as well. But you can tell that maybe some pieces of clothing were tailored. Like they stole them off of a body and they weren't just like, fuck it, let me put it on. They actually bothered to sew it so it's smaller. So they like you can see it in the arms, they like closed a seam to make them so if for example shirts in the universe would be like undergarments would be quite baggy like this pretty much, and then they would be cinched or like get smaller at the wrists, right? This is like a pretty common Verusian fucking shirt, right? Like this. So you could say that the rats would take the puffy arm and basically just use half of it and then just sew it closed here. So they use half of the sleeve. That might be interesting. It would give an interesting visual thing to them as well, where they have like this sort of floppy piece of cloth off of their arms. Might be interesting. Let's see. But yeah, what was I gonna say? I sort of went off on a different tangent. Uh, I was thinking that maybe we could have that. Yeah, they have thin clothes everywhere else, but have this sort of thick cloak made out of like ripped cloth and rags that sort of frames their face as well. Like a poncho. I don't think it'd be too long. It would definitely be sort of like poncho length, probably. So their silhouette would be the head with the ears. Then you would have like sort of big hunch of like lots of rags and stuff like that, and then like these very thin arms sort of coming out of it like this, and legs that are also thin. And then we could have it so the cloth, like the cloth they have on their back, sort of mats and trails into a tail, like this. So it's just matted fabric together into the form of a tail. And then under the cloak, you could see like just bundles upon bundles of pouches and trinkets sort of hanging down from under their cloak. What's a Jawa? Yeah. Jawa from Star Wars? I have never watched Star Wars before. I don't know Jawa. Yeah, something like this. And we could have it so the fabric frays out into sort of hairs. They aren't hairs, but we can sort of get like the same visual look out of it. Okay, and the gas mask. And I was thinking that they would have like they have made some specific tools for themselves, and the main tool that all of them would have would be a knife that has a blunt edge at the bottom. So just like some sort of like this, and then a blade here. Probably not that long either. Just like something like this, and then the handle. So you can go under clothes and cut them off and stuff like that, so that you don't damage the skin, or because like they don't want to they don't want to flay soldiers, you know. They just want to take off clothes, so they would have to have some sort of knife that just is used to take off layers at a time. Could they have skin or teeth from their species as clothes? No. Jesus Christ. I mean, if I doubt if you were a scavenger in this sort of situation that you would be very pleased with seeing a friend of yours wearing the flayed skin of someone else you know. Or like they're not crazy. Like they're just people. They wouldn't be wearing other people's teeth and skin. That's like walking around the street and seeing somebody wear a flayed fucking suit. That doesn't make sense. Teeth mail. Teeth mail is a very interesting idea, though. We you might be able to do that with something else. It'd be a fucking metal ass for like some sort of like you know the classic like super powerful wandering monster or hunter that like a headhunter or something like that. Debt collector headhunter shit like that, where they have like heads on their belt or something like that. This would be fucking sick. A suit of chainmail made out of teeth. Scale mail. Yeah, scale mail would be more accurate. You can't really. Chainmail didn't make sense. But yeah, something like that. Sort of. Because, like, outside of that, they don't have many clear identifying features, and it wouldn't make sense for them to have many sort of stand outish features because the whole point of them is that they blend in. So it would make sense that they have this sort of tapestry of ragged cloth and dirt, and like I feel like there'd be mud and stuff like this caked into this that sort of blends it in with the environment. Like it's the same color as the environment. So the only thing that stood out or stands out would be their mask a little bit. But I don't think the colors would be that vibrant either. They'd be quite brown. Yeah, and then let's see. Let's just do fucking wrappings. It's fine. They don't take their clothes off. Rarely, ever. I doubt. But they would have their hands and feet exposed, as I feel like those would be very important for them for like tactile sensing things and also being more dexterous, especially when it comes to like scavenging things off of soldiers. Uh, I'm gonna give more information about them when we eventually get to the video about them. I'm not gonna tell you too much about them. Just that, they're in the trenches. Do they clean themselves? Yes, they would. I just okay, if you're wondering about anything that they would most likely do, ask yourself what you would do if you're in dirty ass trenches as a scavenger. Would you like to be dirty as fuck all the time? Or would you like to also be sort of clean? If the answer is yes, then they would probably do that too. If the answer is no, please go take a shower, like right now. Why God, if I was in a scavenger environment, I wouldn't take a shower. No, I wouldn't even think about water. I'd be relishing in the mud and gunk and shit. Like, oh God, I like being a dirty hobo. Okay, Jesus Christ. Okay, would they take guns as well? Because it'd be hard to. Would they have guns? I feel like they would have guns. Why would they not have guns? Well, they don't want to ruin relations. Still, having like some sort of protection would always be good. Would rat kings occur? I mean, yeah, I don't doubt their tails would get tangled, but you know what they would do? They just cut it off. Because it's not their tail, it's a piece of cloth. So they just cut it. They wouldn't just rot and die like actual rats. Guns sound neat. Yeah, they do sound neat. Oh, thank you for the 20 sec. Mamosaurus. Mamosaurus? Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your loving mind with us. Oh, appreciate it. Thank you. Since they are crawling in small spaces. Yeah, I feel like pistols and stuff like that would definitely be like the main firearm that they have on them. But okay, you'd see their like little curly hair. I mean, that is pretty much what a rat looks like. I don't think they look any different from that. Okay, you know what what would be good? Because the thing is, the issue with designing the rat's look is that they will most likely, like, all of them would most likely look different from each other. There's no, like, universal look. Though I guess there would be things that are stay consistent, like the mask and the raggedy cloak. No, not a backpack, because they'd have to crawl into the tunnels, so I feel like anything that sort of hangs off the front would make more sense. Anything off the back would just get snagged and stuff. Loud ears is in small spaces. Well, they wouldn't be shooting anything in the tunnels. Their tunnels are theirs. I doubt they'd be firing them off in tunnels. But still, even so, I feel like guns and stuff like that would be very deafening for them. Fanny packs? Yeah, fanny packs would make sense. Maybe actual rats as pets, as scouts. That's cute. I like that. Yes. Yes, we have actual rats, and you know what? The rats can like accompany them. Like they're attached to their not attached, but they like take rides on the rats. So the rats are friends with the rats. There you go. Stupid little eyes. Okay, that you know what? Wait, who suggested that? Who fucking suggested that they have rat friends? I read it, but I didn't read the name. Sev, thank you very much. You just made the concept 10 times better. I didn't even think about them having rat friends. For some reason, I didn't think about that. But having them have little rat friends. Like, you know there's videos of like that homeless dude with like three rats that he like throws away and then they run back towards him. I get that sort of feeling from the rat from the Hatchfolk. They've like trained them to be like fucking pets. They're blood brothers? No, I don't think they're related to the rats, though. Yeah, I love little rats. I don't think the long mask would get too much in the way of the tunnels, because you could just sort of tuck it in. If the mask like stopped about here, I feel like it would get more in the way than if it was longer and just sort of went back. You know? I might want to sort of indicate that it turns back quicker than in that case. Man, he's another little rat. I don't know how to draw rats, so I'm just gonna draw them as stupid little balls with big eyes. Are they violent to outsiders? No. You'll understand why when the video comes out. They wouldn't attack people actually, like just in general, they would not be attacking people or actually interacting with them too much. And another rat. This dude got four rats. Another rat on his hand that's like standing up on its hind legs. And the tail sort of like droops around his forearm or his wrist. Incredible. More. This is so cool. Okay, let's. I feel like we're stagnating with the drawing just because I'm not thinking about what the next step is. Um, I mean, we're pretty much done with the design. It's not like we designed much. I know what the mask was gonna look like, and just drawing out the big cloak around them, and then just them being very thin-limbed with loose clothing and then lots of pouches. That's about it. There's nothing more to them than that. Um, I want to sort of draw like a finished drawing of one though. I don't know what I would. So okay, give me suggestions. I want a scene that is has a Hatchfolk in it that would sort of encapsulate them. And I feel like an important part of that would be humanizing them. I don't want them looking like they're another fucking just rat in the trenches scuttling around like rodents. They're people. So I maybe want to have a scene that sort of shows that, because I could draw a scene of them like scavenging a body, which would be how you would most likely see them, right? That's what you would most likely see them doing. But it sort of makes them seem like a threat, which I guess that's what the normal soldier would think. But I okay, hold on. Before you give me suggestions, I've gone into my own head now. So, um, the drawings are from the perspective of the stranger. The stranger is depicting the rats, and I feel like okay, I the stranger has interacted a lot with the rats, right? Or the Hatchfolk, which means he realized the sort of human side to them, which means instead of depicting them like a fucking creature drawing, documentary style, them out on the hunt, they would more draw the rats. Like, I feel like he would draw them like you would draw somebody's portrait, you know? Like a person. You know, like, would you draw a person who's currently picking shit off of a body? No. You would most likely draw a person when, like a photo. Like, you'd tell them, okay, stand there in whatever way you want, with whatever you're wearing, and then, like, strike a pose or something like that. I feel like that might be an interesting way to depict them, is to just have, like, maybe, like, two of them just with their masks off, holding the masks intentionally, like making it very clear that this is not a drawing of them in their natural habitat while they're doing their things. This is, oh, hey, could you guys like stand there while I like draw you? And then, you know, they just get drawn, and the two of them, and they wouldn't want to, you know, not wear, they wouldn't wear their masks while they're getting drawn. They'd take them off and stuff. I feel like that makes sense, right? What? I just bought an OOG M708 and I accidentally scratched the trackpad with the stylus. Is this common practice? How fucking what? How strong are you? Jesus Christ! What do you mean? You scratched the huh? I mean, what do you mean by scratched? Like, is it like you if you run your finger over the thing, is there a bump? Like, does it go down? Or is it like just a visual scratch? Because like, if I hold my tablet up to the light, no shit, there's a bunch of, you know, in scratch marks on the tablet, but it doesn't, you know, it's still smooth. There's no actual thing. Whole straight. They send me a picture like, yeah, this is what I mean, and it's just a fucking pen like penetrated through the tablet, like a fucking like an armor piercing round through a tank. Just is this normal practice? Fucking Jesus Christ. Pen impaled. Yeah. I scratched mine after like 2 years. Yeah, but what do you mean by scratched? I don't understand what you guys mean by scratched. Maybe you just have a scratch protective layer on it? No, it's just a tablet. Like, the surface of the tablet isn't supposed to get, like, the stylus of the tablet is plastic. The tablet is plastic. There shouldn't, if you're pressing so hard that the thing gets fucking scratched, like, physically, three-dimensionally scratched, I think you're too strong. You should be lifting weights. You should be going to fucking weightlifting competitions, fucking power meets, not drawing. You're too strong. Go bench press or something. God damn. Yeah, 2D scratches. I have a bunch of 2D scratches on my tablet. Yeah. I guess if like the nib is new, yeah, good point. If the nib is new, it might be like still very sharp, but still like, oh. I've never scratched a tablet before, so I can't conceive how you would possibly be able to do that. Anyway, but yeah, like if it's like just visual scratches and shit like that, if it still draws, then who cares? It's fine. If it was me and there was like a 3D scratch but it still draws, I'd probably, I don't know, what would I do? I'd I'd maybe like I'd put ramen in it and then like some glue. I'd powder ramen, put it in the fucking crack, put it in the dent, right? And then pour glue over it and do what one of those, you know, repair videos do and just sand it down until it's good again. Why ramen? You wait, you've not seen those videos? The ramen repair videos where they fucking just repair random shit by crushing a packet of ramen in it, put the seasoning on it, and then just pour like glue over it, and it reacts with it, and then they sand it down and color it. Yeah. I'm down one nib. Oh, don't worry. The nibs don't run out nearly enough for you to worry about. Like fucking I don't know. This is still the first nib of this tablet. I've had the tablet now. This one's, I mean, the new one's for like a year now. I don't know how long nibs last, but it doesn't seem like they run out that quickly. The old tablet perished after I used like 3 nibs, I think, and that was over the span of like 8 years. I used 3 nibs. Maybe that just says something about how little I draw, though. That might depend on the person. Maybe I just drew like very little. You're welcome, Goofy. No worries. I mean, don't worry about it. I hope the scratch isn't too bad. Just enjoy drawing, man. What was I gonna do? I completely forgot. Uh, right. Drawing a scene to end off the design of the rat people, like drawing like a portrait or something. But what do you think about that? By the way, I still haven't asked. What do you think about the idea of like just drawing like 2 or however many rats just like standing there like they're getting drawn like people? Maybe they would like hold up stuff because you know how I'd still want them to be in the act of something um while taking the picture. Not like doing something, but sort of enough context clues on them to be able to tell that they were doing something and then got asked to be painted. They were scavenging and they're like holding up the things that they scavenged, like fucking like those photos of men with their fish. But it's just rats with like a scavenged suit of armor with like a nice pattern on it, or maybe a gun. Just holding the gun next to them, like, here's what I got for the day. Behold our stuff. I mean, okay, hold on. We could get so much personality out of this, actually. What would a rat person want to show off? Yeah, that has so much potential. What would a rat person want to show off? If you were a rat person, right? You're a little conniving bastard who runs around the trenches and like scuttles around stealing people's shit and stuff like that. If I was that person, if I was that rat, I'd be like, I'm gonna show off my shiny things. Yes, shiny things. Exactly. Old coins. Old coins could be interesting. Yeah. Like coin necklaces or fucking shiny things. Hold on. Let's write this down. So, um, drawn portrait. The shiny things. No. Rat. Yes, somebody said that show off the rats. Right. The rats are like one of the great things we just came up with. So yes, of course you put your fucking pet in a picture. Of course, you'd be like, yeah, draw my rat too. Why would I want to exclude my little rat buddy out of my picture? And that, I feel like that humanizes them a lot. To, they think of the rats as pets. Like, favorite loot, yeah. Show off shiny slash favorite loot. Bring out the rodents. Shiny rats. Hold on. Rats with collars. Just to make sure that the rats are domesticated. They got little fucking collars with like maybe a coin or something like that on the end. Something so to identify them. Just so you don't mistake them for just random rats that happen to climb onto the Hatchfolk while they were being drawn. Armored rat? No fucking way. Armored rat. What would they even use an armored rat for? A well-preserved piece of armor. Yeah, that would be encapsulated with show-off favorite loot. Yeah, I feel like it'd be a rat and a sock. Oh my, dude. Sideka, you're a fucking genius. Have the rat, have the hatchfolk have little pouches sewn on to the cloak that are just socks, and the rats climb into them. So there's these little rats often poking their head out of the little pouches. So just like yeah, on the back of the the raggedy little cloak, and then you just have fucking you just have socks and then little rats. This is too good. This is too fucking good. Little stupid eyes. And their little hands. It's cute. It's very cute. I like this. I like this a lot. Okay, so we're definitely doing this. So one of if we have two rats, I mean this gets confusing because the hatchfolk are also called rats, and now they have rats as well. So I'll have one of the hatchfolk be like a rat herder or something. So one of the rats is standing there, like holding a rat. I I feel like definitely would have to make sure that it looks gentle. I don't want them looking. I don't want them holding the rat like fucking, you know, like this. That would not be good.
Oh, look at my rat. Hello, traveler. I'm I'm glad you have. I want to introduce you to my rat.
Just squeezes the shit.
Look at my rat. Isn't he gorgeous?
Yeah, rat sitting on the palm. So definitely like a rat herder with like bunch of rats in little pouches on his cloak, right? And then him sort of having his mask, like holding his mask in the other hand. And then the other guy or girl or whatever. I feel like we definitely want like a guy or a girl, a guy and a girl, so we get both of uh the designs, but we still haven't figured out how the fuck the girls look different from the guys in rat in the hatchfolk. Something longer hair, less beard on their face, maybe like gentler feet. I'll have to figure something out. But yeah, and the other rat might have like just scavenged something or maybe showing off. So one of them is the rats, and the other one is. I'm sorry, I'm getting a lot more. My speech is getting worse. Like I'm not making any sense. I have to slow down. Sorry. But yeah, and the other one has like something that uh they scavenged. Maybe it's a gun, but if it's a gun, then it looks like he's gonna, unless he's like holding it forward like a trophy. But still, I don't think a gun would. Would they pose with cheese wheels? They wouldn't have cheese wheels. I mean, okay. I feel like even though it does humanize them, there's still the angle that they are actually scavengers. And they do take things off of dead people. Like that, we're not forgetting that. So I feel like even though it is a wholesome picture, there should be like a distorted perception of value, or if that even makes sense. Like something that they're like, oh, look at this, and they think it's cool, but from an outside perspective, you're like, oh, that, yeah, that's not normal. Not teeth. What I was thinking was, God damn it. I'm gonna have to explain some bit of lore. Okay, fine. The the dog tags of soldiers are quite valuable because when people or families prefer to know if their kids are dead or not, so normally you need to find the dog tags to be able to identify corpses. But when the scavengers go to corpses, they take the dog tags and they use those to sell them back to the countries because, you know, if you want to find out if your son's okay or not, or your fucking husband who's gone out to war is good or not, they have to find the dog tag. But the dog tags, the rats normally get to corpses first. So they take those and give them back to the countries, you know, to keep track of the soldiers that die. So the dude or the other rat could be holding up like a handful of tags, which to them would be like, hey, look, I just made a bunch of money, or like a decent amount of money. Like I could sell this and then get a bunch of money. But when you think about it, it's like, oh, those are all off of dead people. Like that's literally one per person dead people. What's your favorite clay golem? Also, thank you very much, Lucky, for the $2. Appreciate it. What's your favorite clay golem? What do you mean? What do you mean, Lucky? What if the dog tags get mixed up? Well, there's no issue with dog tags getting mixed up. It's just the importance of dog tags getting back. You know, because if they got back, that means that person's dead. But yeah, Lecky, what do you mean by clay golem? I didn't know there were multiple clay golems. I guess my favorite golem in fiction, maybe? Is that what you're asking? Because if that's the case, I don't know many golems. I guess the ones from Dungeon Meshi. That's the most recent one I can think of, is the golems from Dungeon Meshi. I like those. Musical instruments? True. Musical instruments would make sense. That would very much humanize them. Hold on. The one golem with vegetables on its back? Yes, yes, that one. Deck of cards. I don't think a deck of cards would make sense. I don't think a Hatchfolk would find much value in a deck of cards. But yeah, just sort of okay. I feel like having him like hold out his hand like this and then just showing like bundles of the dog tags, or I call them dog tags, but they have like a different look to them. In my world, somebody suggests this and I like it a lot. They're these little capsules. Obviously, that means they're harder to make, but this world isn't made to make like 100% sense. It's just there to make fun. Or make fun? What? It's just there to have fun. So there's these little capsules that are screw-on or maybe like capped off somehow. And inside, they normally write identifications and stuff like that on a piece of paper. Which I guess wouldn't be a perfect way to identify someone because you could fake them and stuff like that. But I feel like it's good enough. It's good enough, right? Yeah, so just having a bunch of those. Most valuable would be magical. True! Fuck, I completely forgot about that. Yes, you're totally correct. Most valuable things would be things that are magical or magical equipment. So I totally think, yeah, it would be the dude has a handful of the fucking things and then has what do you think he would have? Would he have the thimbles or would he have an input? I feel like thimbles would be interesting. Like just have him hold some like golden fingers. Nah, but in all seriousness, thank you for getting me back into drawing. I'm making serious strides now. Also, imagination be going crazy. Thank you, Lucky. I appreciate that. I'm glad I got you back into it. And also, thank you for the $5. Appreciate it a lot. Very, very much. Thank you. I will buy chicken with that, most likely. I mean, that's literally one of the only things I've been buying. I don't have anything else I buy. Until my clothes fall apart, then I guess I'll buy some new clothes, but until then, it's just gonna be chicken. So that money is going towards chicken. Thank you very much. Other things as well, don't worry, I also drink water and such. They could hold the headpiece of a war boar. God, those things are huge, though. The war boar are fucking gigantic. They wouldn't be able to take one of those. Do you have plans to design Varus or Ram royalty nobles? If you do, check out Will's Puppet Kings. No, I don't think I would have... The only thing you would see from nobles would most likely be their faces on coins and stuff like that. Or besides that, I don't think you'd see much of them. Because you'll hear about them, yes, but you won't see them, you know? You're a hatchfolk in disguise. How dare you? You're right, but still. I just got here. Oh, they are the... I'm gonna stop using the word. They live in the trenches. They're the people that live in the trenches and like scavenge off of soldiers and stuff like that. Yeah, so like show all of those and then maybe like an input. I also, hold on. I also feel like it would be like a sort of sincere touch for them not to be smiling. Or like just to have blank expressions or maybe like a sort of tilted head somewhat maybe because I doubt they would know what the fuck being drawn is even like. No, I don't think that ever happened to them because they're in the fucking trenches. Why would they ever be offered to be drawn by anyone? That doesn't happen there. So like the I'm picturing it as this. So the stranger goes up to some rats, right? And he's like, "Hey, can I draw you guys?" And first they go, "What? What do you mean? Why?" And then, you know, he's got to explain a little bit. He's like, "Well, you know, I draw things in the book to like document them and stuff like that, and I need a drawing of you guys." And then they're like, "Okay, well, what do we do?" And then the stranger has to like, "Well, normally people take pictures with things, right?" And then they're like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'll get some stuff." And then they sort of like, "Okay, I'll just get, you know, my valuables." And the other person's like, "I'll just do the rats, I guess. My pet rats, here you go." And they just stand there sort of a little awkwardly like, eh. And then, you know, get their drawing done. No, I don't think fancy hats would. It would make sort of sense. Like they might be like, oh yes, let me put on fancy hats for fun. But I still want it to be sort of authentic enough esque. Eternal ruins, eternal ruins, eternal ruins. What was is he here? Is eternal ruins here? Is Sam here? Oh shit! Hello, Sam. Welcome, welcome. Glad you made it to the second stream. Anybody in chat who doesn't know, somebody who hopped into chat, or the person who just hopped into chat is Eternal Ruins. He has a wonderful fucking channel that also does world building on his world building project called, as the name says, Eternal Ruins. It is a very, very interesting world building project that I highly recommend you check out if you haven't. It's basically about these, well, eternal ruins, but they are very interesting, and the art is really fucking good. But also just the lore and the way he describes these ruins, and from the perspective of the people or the adventurers that walk through them, and the fucking spirits and shit. Like there's a bunch of stuff. Okay, just go check it out. You'll definitely not regret it. And honestly, I mean, his video production is better than mine, so it'd probably be a lot more worth your time to watch his more than mine. But yeah, welcome Eternal Ruins. Glad you're here. If you're wondering, we're currently drawing the Hatchfolk, which are the, I'm gonna say it again, the denizens of the trenches. They look like this. They're little rat people with pet rats, and so we're thinking about a way to depict them in a drawing, like sort of if like in their, well, yeah, just a finishing drawing, what to depict them as. And we got the idea of doing it like a sort of portrait, you know, instead of drawing them like a creature where we draw them in their natural habitat, fucking scavenging a corpse or something like that. They instead are drawn as just two people standing next to each other, holding things they find valuable. So one of them is holding up like their pet rats, and the other one's holding up like their valuable things they scavenged, which is still kind of dark because you can connect the dots and be like, well, he's holding up a bundle of tags, which each tag is from a dead person. So even though it's like, oh yeah, wholesome picture, they're holding up valuable things, all of those are from dead people. I love the little water people in the runes. Oh yeah, those are definitely my favorite design as well at the moment. Is the little water spirits. I forgot what they were called. I forgot what they were called. God damn it. Sam, what are they called? Your little water, the drops or droops or driplets, the moist men, the little moist men. What are they called? They're so precious. They give me very strong. Dulets, yes, Dulets. How could I forget? The name is so good, and I forgot it. The moist men. Yeah, the little moist men. What's the relation between the two Hatchfolk? I don't know. What are we thinking? Do you think the two Hatchfolk are they siblings? Are they fucking friends? Are they? I mean, I don't know how I depict that in a sibling. Hmm. I feel like siblings make sense. Looking forward to seeing more hatchlings. Oh, okay. Take care, Eternal Runes. Take care. Good luck on whatever endeavors you may be pursuing. Rivals trying to show off who got better loot. Found family. Yeah, found family I think makes sense. Okay, so let us draw like a sort of very rough idea of what we're going for. I feel like having a hatch somewhere in the scene would make sense too. I mean, okay, would they take a picture? Yeah, they'd take it outside, because inside you would barely be able to see anything, because it's dark as hell. So, like, some sort of hatch, and then the two Hatchfolk sort of standing with their stuff, like, in the middle? That seems a little stiff, right? If both of them are just standing, like, here. It would look like the picture, you know, the dude with the pitchfork and the other person. I forgot if it was his, like this one with the house in the back. Feels like that sort of. Maybe rich families pay them to get their children's dog tags first. That's literally what happens. Because that makes sense. That would be exactly what happens, yes. Oh, I'll see y'all later. Take care. Take care, Caden. American Gothic, yes, that one. But yeah, I think that's a little stiff. How would... Wouldn't it make sense that it's stiff because it's a very unusual situation? I guess so, yeah. So, okay. I'm just thinking of the angle as well, because the rat catcher is... Not the rat catcher, fucking... The stranger is not tall, but he's taller than the rat people. But he'd draw them from... So, would it be in a trench? Yeah, he'd sort of go on a lower angle, I feel. Like this, and then... Yeah, I feel like having one of them sit down would make sense. Because then it doesn't have to be as front on. So the bench could be, like, here. Like, having them sit might make sense. And the rat one, the one with pet rats is here. And then the Bunker City Market Stall. You're fucking a genius. Yeah, Bunker City Market Stall would actually make so much sense. Okay, basically, hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. The stranger is going to a bunker city, right? Because that's on the way to the fucking trenches. And he needs to find some guides to accompany him onto his journey into the trenches so he can pass through safely. That means he needs to find some Hatchfolk. So he goes into the marketplace in the underground of the bunker cities to find and hire Hatchfolk to join him on his journey, which are these two Hatchfolk, right? Which he pays to accompany him. But before that happens, he's like, "Let me take a drawing of you guys ahead of time." Does that make sense? That's what I've been saying. Oh, I've been missing your pictures then, or I've been missing your message. What is going on with my brain? It's almost midnight. I think I'm not making sense anymore. I'm talking complete gibberish. But yeah, that makes sense. That actually makes sense. That's hard though, because then now I gotta think of how the marketplace looks. Need to see the bunker city. I'm sort of thinking. Like, how do the bunker cities connect to the Hatchfolk? I feel like we gotta talk about this off stream, cause I that's so much shit that needs to still not be in videos, so I don't want to get into it on stream. Sorry, that probably was loud. Can you draw Hatchfolk doing this? No, 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 no. A collision of culture. Well, yeah, but like, God, God damn. Like a mix of underground tunnels and self no, like underground bunkers and self-dug tunnels. God. Concrete. Yeah, concrete. They wouldn't have a stall. Yeah, I feel like it'd need to be something that's packed up quickly. They'd have a hole with a stall around it. What do you mean? Like, it's just a little hole that they sit in, and then just like a few things laid out on like random, like this. Around a you mean like around a hatch hole that they come out of, not like just in a little fucking hole. You mean like in a wall. Right, that makes more sense. I'm like, why would they be sitting in a little hole? They just right, hold on here, like a hatch that gets held open and then the rat sort of comes out. Mario style, yeah. Like he's just sitting in a little fucking like It's like in the naughty corner, but it's just a little ditch. I can't exit this ditch. The soldiers said no, I had to stay in the naughty hole. Damn, he got grounded. Let's keep the hole now. No, no, we're not gonna keep the stupid little hole in the ground. Please keep the stupid little hole in the ground. God. Oh, it doesn't make sense though. Why would they? Is it okay? What about if it's this? Like, it's literally as stupid as he dug away the concrete on the ground around the entrance to his hole because he doesn't like the feel of concrete. He likes dirt more. So he dug out the concrete to be like, I'm gonna sit in this little pit of dirt at my stall. If I'm gonna sit at my stall, I'm gonna sit on my favorite material, which is dirt. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So, okay. It's the side of a trench wall, right? So it's a trench wall like this. Then it's like cracked concrete dug around a fucking little divot of dirt, and then a little hatch that comes out of the side of it, and then pieces of cloth laid out with things on them. That's it. And then I guess you could have a picture of them sitting at the stall together. How did they get concrete? No, the rats didn't get concrete. The bunker cities are made out of concrete. That's so silly. Okay, fair enough. But it works, though. It works. But, like... But who made the concrete? The countries. Is concrete canon? Yes, concrete is canon. Is the concrete that thin? No, I don't think the concrete would be that thin. I feel like... Okay, like, this is the thing. I don't know how exactly the bunker cities would connect to the rat tunnels. Like, are they just... Like, I don't feel like it would have been a long enough relationship with the countries at war and the Hatchfolk that they have sort of set up a proper trading area. But what does a proper trading area look like? Because I feel, what would the first contact have been? How the fuck did they contact the rat people? Did they contact the rat people on the surface and were like, hey, we want to trade with you? But then the rat people were like, yeah, I would love to do that, but actually I don't like to do it on the surface. Could I dig into your basement? And then they were like, what do you mean dig into our basement? I was like, don't worry, I got you. I'm just gonna dig from this point down and through your basement. You'll find me in like a few days, and then we'll just set up shop there. Or like, have they expanded it into a plaza? Like, are there multiple? How many stalls are there? Because I feel like that would mean that location, like the oh, thank you, Bonky McNoggins, for the additional $50. Appreciate it very much. That's the cost of a dwarf. Stop paying me money. Wait for the dwarf. The dwarf literally costs $50. You can get a dwarf. Still, thank you very much, but the dwarves are out next month. You can get a dwarf. Keep it, because then you can have like a pile of them if you'd like, you know? And I feel like that would be nice as well, because then you can get something out of it. Single-handedly feeding Simon. Yes, honestly, like so much of my food comes from Bonky spending money. But yeah, thank you very much, Bonky. What was I gonna say? Right. If they dug, okay. Did the rats dig in an intended place? Like, it is not necessary. Thank you for the $10. Fair enough, Bonky. Do whatever you wish. I will not stop you anymore, but please. More chicken. Thank you very much. Yes, yes. All of it's going towards chicken. Yeah, because I have an excess of sketchbooks, so I don't have to buy any sketchbooks anymore. So it's pretty much just food. Ban him? No, dude. If I ban him, I will literally have like 50% of my profits would go down the drain. Like I've Bonky, hold on. He just spent $160, right? That's, I think that's like, how much percentage of my YouTube revenue is that? Because I don't make that much, you know, on YouTube, because I don't have sponsors and stuff like that. That's from what Bonky spends. If I stream more often, like sometimes he's sent like $200 in a stream, or like 100 per stream, 2 streams in a row. I feel like oftentimes he has probably made up 50% of the money I made from YouTube. It is a lot of chicken, yes. Wait for the Oog partnership. I've contacted them, and they have ignored me. They've ignored me. God damn it. I feel like a creepy stalker. You know, I always talk about Oog and how nice my Oog tablet is, but they never respond. You know, I stare into their window at night, into their facilities, or wherever Oog is, and, you know, try to get them to notice me, but they never do. Shame. Notice me, Oog senpai. Simon has been ignored, yes. What? Just turn in and my partner across the room is losing it at buy a What do you mean, Cyber Demon? How dare you? Based Oog ignoring soy world builder. Okay. God damn. What do I do to become based like Oog senpai? Chad Oog. Do I have to start mewing? Does Oog mew? I mean, it's a square tablet. They probably do. This is a nonsense conversation. Just entered. How are you all doing? How is everyone doing? On the behalf of the Black Moon asking. Thank you for the 10 Ron, by the way. I appreciate it. I desperately have a lack of Ron, so I'm glad I have 10 more Ron to my name now. First time watching a stream, Lies. Recently subscribed. Love your stuff so much. Thank you. Thank you, Eddie. I am doing unemployed. God. Okay. What was I talking about? Right. Okay. The point where the bunker city and the rats meet, right? The tunnels meet. Was that intentional? Like, did they make specific tunnels to reach the rats and make it into a trading post, or was it like this was a basement for the backup generator and you just dug through our backup generator wall, so I guess we'll just set it up here? This is, I'm thinking too much into this. This is literally just an image of two rat people. Thank you for the $20, Bonky McNoggins. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Cheese, question mark? What do you mean? You mean if I want cheese, like, or if I use your money to buy cheese? Or if you're suggesting that the image I draw has cheese in it? Wait for the dwarves, yes. Again, you can have so many dwarves, Bonky. Really. The rats were trying to steal stuff and came through. Instead of becoming hostile, they decided to trade. It's like, why did they break through the wall of our precious vault? And it's like, oh, we were gonna sell you something. Bonky McNoggins, thank you for the $10. Cheese, without the question mark this time. I agree. Cheese. Yes, Bonky, cheese. And thank you very much. I'm glad you sent me another $10. I don't know if it's intentional, but the $10 donation is yellow, so it is now the color of cheese. I mean, the orange was also color of cheese, but it's more like cheese sauce, orange rather than cheese yellow. Yeah. Do the Hatchfolk eat cheese? I don't see a reason why they wouldn't. Here's they wouldn't have access to cheese in normal circumstances. But if you gave them cheese, I feel like they'd like it. They'd go crazy over it, probably. Because, like, they eat red roots, like red root buds, rodents, and, like, fucking, like, the water in the trenches and stuff like that. Which ain't the type of stuff, you know, delicioso. So, like, if you gave them cheese, I feel like their head would explode. Like, they would just, their minds would be blown that this kind of flavor exists, you know? They're complacent with the food they have. It's not like they're like, oh, I wish I had some cheese, because they don't know what cheese is. But if they find out what cheese is, I feel like, no. No, do not milk the rat. Don't milk the Hatchfolk. Fucking fuck off. Do not milk the Hatchfolk. But yeah, hear me out. Okay, this is what would happen if you gave a Hatchfolk cheese. You would give them cheese, their mind would be blown. They'd be like, holy shit, this is the best thing I've ever fucking had. And you know what happens after that? They run out of cheese. And then they have to go back to what they normally eat. Which means you've ruined that Hatchfolk's life. He will never be joyful eating food ever again because you gave him something too good that is impossible for him to attain. How do you feel about that, huh? You just ruined a rat person's life. They accept cheeses. I feel like they'd accept any food as a currency, honestly. They just enjoy food, probably. I mean, everybody enjoys food, but especially the rat folk would definitely enjoy some good food. Unless he comes back for more cheese, true. But then you're just his cheese dealer, like a drug dealer, but for cheese. And then you just, like, no. Oh, it'd be a fucking Ratatouille situation, man. You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna be like, dude, okay, just this once, I'm gonna give you another piece of cheese, right? Thank you for the $10, Bonky. I'm gonna give you some more cheese, just this once, you know? And then he'll be like, okay, thank you. And then he'll just gobble up the cheese and run away. And guess what? Next time he comes back knocking at your door with 2 more friends. And now you have 3 cheese-addicted rat folk, cheese-addicted hatch folk at your door, desperate for more, scratching at their necks, being like, hey man, you got that cheese? And then it just keeps escalating. What do they pay you with? If you know, that's a serious problem. Yeah, that is a serious problem. I want the story of a Hatchfolk learning to be a chef. No. No. At least one Ratatouille guy. Like one Hatchfolk that is different from the rest. He wants to cook. He smelled what they were cooking in the bunker cities. So he sneaked and he dug a tunnel into the bunker city kitchens and started like learning their craft. He started watching the people cook their fucking like you know how Ratatouille is fancy food? This is just like, oh my god, look at this incredible food. And it's like a fucking ship's biscuit and like sauerkraut soup. Just the shittiest survival food, you know, war rations. But he's like, oh my god, 5-star delicacy. I can't believe it. Holy shit, they intentionally added maggots into this ship biscuit, into this, what are they, hardtack, so that it imbues a more delicious umami flavor into it. It's like, no, that shit's rotten, dude. What are you talking about? We didn't cook that. That's rotten. That's our dumpster. Why the fuck? He dug into our dumpster, eating the trash, and he's like, oh, cuisine. I need to bring this back to my people. This is stupid. Hardtack, black tack. Yeah, I love tasting history. One of my favorite channels, just because I've learned so much about stuff from that channel. Simply exquisite. Just shoveling trash into his mouth. Cake would put them into cardiac arrest. True. Yes. I feel like anything sugar would launch a Hatchfolk into the stratosphere. They would bounce off the walls and die from a heart attack. They're small as it is, like little children, but if you gave them sugar, they'd die. Yeah, so much world building in food history. True. So much is done with food, by the way. Or just like in history, so many things have been led by food. Especially wars, because that's like the, you know, blah blah blah, soldiers run off of their stomach or whatever. What about spicy food? I don't think they'd like spicy food. I don't think they would want food that causes them more pain, if you think about it that way. It wouldn't make sense. You know, like, why would you want to not like food or not enjoy it? You know? Because even with their heightened senses as well, I feel like they'd suffer from if they ate spicy food as well. I mean, would they have heightened taste buds as well? Would they? Because it would make their food, like, if they had less taste buds, it would make it so their normal food is more enjoyable because they don't, you know, they don't taste much anyway, so it doesn't matter what they eat. Thank you for the $25. If you type... Bunky, what? I'm dying. Did you catch the curse? Hold on. Okay, sorry. I'm back. I was... Bonky cast a curse on me and I started choking on my own fucking saliva or something. I don't know what the hell happened, but I couldn't get the words out. My throat was tightening up and I was slowly getting asphyxiated. Anyway, now that curse has passed, thank you, Bonky McNoggins, for the $25. If you tire of us providing currency, become boring and dull, Monlens. Otherwise, we will provide support in the manners found acceptable. No, I am not complaining. Do not worry. I would never imagine complaining about somebody giving me money, okay? The that's not something someone like me can complain about. But yes, thank you very much. No, your support is very much appreciated. Blue Fire Kirby, thank you for the 10 euros. Ooh. Thank you for the 10 euros. Appreciated. More cheese. Yes. More cheese indeed. More cheese for the rat folk. I guess we could say that that's what donations are now, is to get cheese to the rat folk. Like, feed them cheese. Simon ain't no Twitch thought. What do you mean? Hatchfolk give government dog tags for cheese, not money. No, I do think it would be money. Or, well, it would be this way. The Hatchfolk don't use money amongst themselves. They would use rules of trade. So they would just trade goods with goods, right? But when it comes to buying things from Ram or Rus, the countries, I feel like they would trade their stuff with money, so Ram's currency, and they would just use Ram's currency to buy things off of Ram, right? So Ram sort of forced them into using the currency, even though it wouldn't be necessary. But it's, I guess, more a more clear value. Simon create a thick rat folk, busting it down for What is wrong with you guys? I'm not gonna draw a thick rat folk busting it down for cheese. I'm gonna put that in the fucking stretch goals for the dwarf. And I'm gonna, for the dwarf figures, you know, I'm gonna have stretch goals when the dwarf figure becomes available, so how many get sold, and then we'll do different things. I'm gonna put that at fucking 5,000. You'll never see that happen till the day I die. When we eventually sell 5,000 of them, it's gonna happen, but that's not gonna happen, so I'll just put it at like a incredibly unrealistic distance away. Thank you for more cheese for the 10 euros, Blue Fire Kirby. Appreciate it very much. Thank you, thank you. My god, the donations are fucking flowing this stream. Jesus Christ. I'm not even drawing anything. You guys are, like, throwing money at me for nothing. I'm not doing anything. I at least should be performing, you know? New merch cheese. It's gonna happen. No, it's not gonna happen. Listen, like, I have high hopes for the figure, of course, but like 5,000, we're not gonna reach 5,000. Okay, the stretch goals reach 3,000. That's like, I don't expect to reach 3,000, but I've sort of planned ahead stretch goals for 3,000. I don't think we're gonna reach 3,000. But I'm sort of, like, estimating it kind of, because we sold 500 in 4.5 hours. I'm like, okay, maybe we can get there, but yeah. Who knows? You'll def reach 8. Oh, for sure I'm gonna sell 8, at least. At most, at least. I'll definitely sell 8. If I sell... Okay, if I sell, like, less than 10, I'm gonna fly over and fucking give them to each personally. It's like, damn. But yeah, I feel like, okay, I'm by the way, for the stretch goals, just forget the drawing at this point. I don't think I'm gonna be drawing anymore. We're just talking at this point. For the stretch goals, I think one of them that's gonna be a lot of potential, that I think is gonna be really, really worth it, is because if we reach certain stretch goals, obviously that makes me money, right? Which means I'll have more money to spend on the channel, which means I can do shit like make miniatures. So what I was thinking was have stretch goals where if we get to this many dwarfs sold, I'll use that money to pay 3D modelers to make, like, miniatures of things in the world, and then just throw those STLs at you guys. Just chuck them for free, like, somewhere. I don't know where I'd put them. Probably in like some sort of I'd put them in like a drive folder, and then like just have that in the description of each video, or like on the Discord somewhere. That'd be, I think that'd be good. So just be like, okay, if we sell 500 dwarves, we make an STL for the Varus soldier and the Ram soldier. If you reach 1,000, we'll make one for, I don't know, what after that. What kind of other STLs? I've already ran out of ideas. Shit. I guess we could think about that on the stream. Is that a good idea? If we just say, if you reach 1,000, we do another STL, and then we'll figure it out on the streams what the hell STL it is, or 3D model it is. Pillarman. Oh yeah, Pillarman, or like some sort of mage would be fun as well. Yeah, yeah. But like I feel like creatures have a lot of potential. I definitely need to like draw more creatures. That could also be a stretch goals, like design a creature and make it into a miniature. Because I feel like creatures have a lot more potential when it comes to like miniatures. Because you could just reskin them as like creatures in pretty much any tabletop game. You know, like D&D, you could just be like, oh, well, here's a war boar, and let's just say that's a creature that ran out of the forest and stuff like that, and give it some random stats or whatever. You know, you could use those a lot more than specifically a Rom soldier. I guess you could use them for some sort of war game or like a faction in the world if you're doing D&D, but still, it'd be really hard to like make them. How would you make them like varied between figures? Because it'd be redundant if we just had one figure of one Rom soldier. Because if you printed that guy over and over again, it's just going to be an army of them in the same pose, same clothes, standing there. Which means we'd have to have them in different poses, and also change around pieces of armor and the patterns on them, stuff like that. Oh, that'd be, the more I think about it, the more complicated this gets. Hmm. Isn't that just normal Warhammer though? Is What do you mean by normal Warhammer? You mean the fact that all of them just look the same and are in the same pose is Warhammer, or do you mean just the idea of miniature soldiers is Warhammer? Because you're technically correct, but also just miniatures of soldiers exist in a bunch of different things. An armor of unblinking soldiers. Well, yeah, not unblinking soldiers. I mean, just like, you can't just say that's just Warhammer. Because no, that's just an army of soldier miniatures. Warhammer happens to also have a bunch of soldiers, and a bunch of other war games also happen to have soldiers as well. So yes, it would just be a soldier, but it'd be a Rom soldier or a Varus soldier. The Hatchfolk are the people who live in the trenches. They could be somewhat modular with replaceable parts, though that might be too complex for 3D printers. Well, no, you could definitely have like print them in bits instead. Like have a body with legs, and then just have the head detach and the arms detach through like little square sockets or something. And so you could literally just change out arms with a different weapon, or like different shoulder armor, and like just a different head. And you could mix and match them. It wouldn't have to be too complicated. So I feel like, yeah, you could totally do like mix and match kind of things. Though the annoying bit would be like lining up the seams of the parts, you know, because how would you make it so it's hard to tell that there's a line going through the shoulder? You just have to, I guess you could run it across the different pieces of armor to hide it, but then it's like that's very specific and would make it hard to match other pieces with different poses to that joint. It's, yeah, that would be quite complicated how the fuck you'd do that. Um, I'll figure something out. How well would ramen versus military fare in a Warhammer style conflict? Actually, they'd fucking die. They're people. I mean, yeah, Warhammer whole Warhammer's whole identity is like over the top everything. Like giant muscly men with way too big armor and way too big guns fighting way too big aliens or like hordes of infinite fucking green men, green muscly sweaty men with too big teeth and too big guns. And if you match those up against scrawny, malnourished, thin, gangly 18-year-olds in recycled armor, who do you think wins? My soldiers will crumple to dust before they reach the fucking front lines of a Warhammer fight. It's like, yeah, of course they're soldiers, yes, but like still, a lot of the soldiers are just people who've just sort of been forced into being soldiers. Oh, please tell us how sweaty the green men are. Oh, I could go on. I could definitely go on, but I won't in this stream. I'll leave it for the Patreon exclusive. No, no. There's not going to be a Patreon exclusive, please. I think the Imperial Guard. Yeah, that's the only exception is those guys who are just people, but still, numbers wise, the Imperial Guard still wins out. They still got way more. Like the scaling would just be way off. Like the armies in my world, they got flintlocks. They gotta like reload their gun for 2 minutes before they can shoot again. And you want those going up against laser guns. They haven't even. I don't. My soldiers have never seen a laser. Oh yeah, the Imperial Guard is more well nourished too. Like they eat the fucking corpse starch. Are there orc-like creatures in your world? Not yet. Who would win, literal demigods? Forged in war, or one dusty boy with chapped lips? He's he's literally just looking for a sip of water that isn't contaminated with all known horrible pathogens known to man in the trenches, and he has chapped lips and is tired compared to man who can punch a hole through a fucking alien's chest. Guys, what happened in the last 40 minutes? I've been eating. We've just been blabbling, talking random garbage. And I've gotten a ton of donations for some reason by a lot of very generous people who are very handsome and beautiful, whoever you may be. I give you lots of kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you. See, that's what people who donate to me get. That's why they do it. Because I kiss them. What's going on with me? It's past midnight, alright? Don't judge me. How would a rat even kiss, though? Why do you want to know that? Why do you want to know that? Well, how would a rat kiss? You mean the people, like the Hatchfolk, not like a rat, like just a rat? For the fan fiction. Dwarves, rats, you lot are really up for anything, aren't you? Yeah. They're gonna. This is the thing. I feel like it's because my world is very devoid of just very easily, like, shippable or just like, just, oh yeah, there's a handsome soldier man or something. Like, it's devoid of that. There's no like, the hot witch hunter, here he comes to to cleanse our town of witches. Um, I don't have that, so the people are desperate and they're like clamoring on to anything that even resembles something that is mildly attractive. It's like, God, look at Jakob, the witch hunter. His head is literally his head has fucking flies buzzing around it, and it's like this rotting purple fucking lump. God, I I want to kiss him. I want to kiss him. It's like, just, there's lack of anything else. It's the best that that there is in the world. Jakob's kind of fine though. See, like, what do you fucking mean? Have you seen him? I literally designed him to be horrendous, to be like an eyesore to look at, and you're like,
But like, I mean, what them eyes hole do though?
like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Don't fucking. I don't mind some extra honey. See, what is wrong with you people? There's normal people in the world. Like, in the Monster Garden, there are, trust me. It's just that I just designed freaks. Where are the lips? On Jakob, he doesn't have any. He has a beak and then teeth inside. There are no lips. The war, bro, not the, nah. That's an animal, man. Fuck. Yo, stepfolk, I'm stuck. Sideka, get out of the chat. Hello. So I'm not sorry for making the first "what do those eyes hold" do joke. Yeah, fair enough. I don't blame you. It was bound to happen. The internet knows if there's a hole, there's a goal. It doesn't matter where that hole's located. Could be eye holes as well. Eventually, someone's gonna say it. Do people ever? Oh, I'm gonna end the stream. Do people of Varus have personas? What? What? I mean, oh shit. Actually, yes. Actually, kind of yes. Okay, hear me out. Their gods are based on animals. So like the god of death is like a like those birds that hunt fish. So he is technically a furry. Like their gods are kind of furries. You know? Religious religion assigned personas. Yeah. Like the other gods are going to be based off of animals too. Like the god of war uh for Ram is like a war boar with 100 heads or something. Like that's something I wanted for Ram. So that's a fursona as well, I guess. Damn. God damn it. There's furries in my world. Fuck. I didn't think about it. They weaseled their way in there. And they're shit. Well, can't change it now. I guess we have furries. Official. Monster Garden got furries. And they're gods as well, not just like mere mortals or anything. No, they're literally like gods that people believe in and worship. Are you calling ancient Egyptians furry? Yes. I mean, they are though. They are though. Like, come on. It's just people with animal heads. That's literally what furries are. I mean, you. I guess you if you want to like stretch the definition a little bit. I don't know what your definition is, but like if you tell me is a dude with a head of a dog or like an animal, then I'll tell you that's a furry. You know, it's just how it is. Does your world have a deviant? Okay, we're going too far off the script. What does Yorm's mouth? No. What? What are those things? They're Hatchfolk. They're Hatchfolk. That's what we were supposed to be drawing this stream, but I'm getting too distracted talking about random garbage with the chat. Random stuff. Yo, what's good? At this point, not much is good. Everything's going bad. People are saying weird things in the chat, and I can't stop them because I'm encouraging them. Simon, start drawing quickly. Yes, we just I gotta start doing something. Right, we're gonna draw a scene with Hatchfolk. I mean, here's the thing. If I draw them in an environment, it's gonna take really long because I have to design the fucking environment, and I'm bad at designing environments. So what if we just draw the Hatchfolk, like separate it from an environment, so, like nothing around them, just them. Ooh, actually, I have an idea. I might be able to draw an environment without drawing an environment. Hear me out. Hold on. Or wait, I'm going to show you something. There is this artist who does something very interesting, which I think I can take inspiration from, to sort of give the resemblance of an environment without having to think too much about where it actually is. Where the fuck is my inspiration folder? Give me just a sec. Here it is. Okay, now I just gotta find the drawing. Well, this ain't gonna be easy. I have a giant folder that's um not sorted, and I'm trying to find some random drawing in it. I'll find it though. Oh, Gummy Goomster, thank you for the $2. Here's a little change, Simon. Simon is a nice name. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I like my name. Thank you. But yeah, appreciate the $2. Thank you very much. God, where is that drawing? Where did I put it? Because it was like a really good... That's annoying. I'm gonna have to like scrounge through a bunch of stuff to try and find that again. Did I put it somewhere else? No. Don't tell me I put it in here. God damn it. Okay. I guess I'll have to abandon looking for it for now. I'll find it some other time. But basically, what this artist does is he draws the bare minimum of things around a character to give them enough context of where they are. So if he was drawing like a dude with a pipe or something like this, and he would be drawing him against, like, holding or leaning against a table, he would draw just the table, and then like some things on the table, and then maybe like a tiny bit of a rug or something, and that's it. So like not the rest of the environment, not the wall behind him, not the door, not like this wall over here with the window, just anything that is touching the character is drawn, but then nothing else, which just gives just enough context, but it also makes the composition like really interesting, where like the shape of the image isn't like, oh, it's a square of an environment. It's like the shape, the outline of the image is like, oh, the rug leading up to the character, then the pipe, then him down desk, like that. So it's really interesting. So he's really good at being lazy. What do you mean? No, that's not. Why do you simplify? I hate this. I is fucking the. It gets me every time. I try for it not to get to me, but like when somebody says, "Oh, so it's basically dot dot dot," I want to grind them up into a coffee grinder and turn them into a beverage. Like it, like simplifying something down into just like, oh yeah, it's this. It's like, no, it's not. It's always this, or the worst one is when you're an artist, right? And then you tell them about a concept or something. You tell them about a concept, and you're like, oh, there's this race of people, and then you tell them about their backstory and what they do, and like their designed armor and stuff like that, and the person listening to nodding along, okay, and then you finish, and you're like, what do you think? And they go, oh, so it's basically Warhammer. I again fucking stuff them into a coffee grinder, twist them around a little bit, turn them into a beverage, but like it's it gets on my nerves so much. It's like they just simplify it down. It's like, did you listen? Oh yeah, so it's basically this thing. It's like I know it's human nature to want to like connect the dots on things, right? Like you understand things by associating them with things you already know. So the easiest response to something is to associate it with something you already know. So when somebody tells you something, you go, "Oh, it reminds me of this thing," but it's like, "Oh my god, god damn it." I guess it's because as an artist, or maybe it's just me, but there's like a strong urge to be original, right? And obviously, originality doesn't exist. Right? You can't make something purely original, right? Everything's influenced by other things and things you know. It's inspired, blah blah. So you can always break something down and figure out where each of its components came from. Nothing's original, right? But still, you want to have some sort of a newish idea, right? Something original in quotation marks. So when somebody listens to your original idea and then immediately connects it to something that already exists, it's like, fuck! God damn it. It's like instantly, not even like, oh yeah. It would be better, I guess it would be better if they went like, oh, it's like a combination of this and then that, and then like you sprinkle a little bit of that into that as well. You know, if they said it like that, you'd be like, yeah, yeah. You know, but when they go like, "Oh, it's just this," it's like, fuck. It's like, no, there's like little bits and pieces of everything in there. You can't just say it's this. Sorry, again a tangent, but I hope some understand this, right? Like this makes sense, right? That's if you're talking like intentionally. Me and some of my friends, when in the server, sometimes we'll intentionally simplify other people's ideas down into like associating them with somebody else just to piss them off, because it does, you know. So they'll be like really passionate, like, "Oh, dude, I just got a really cool idea," da 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 da, and then you're like, "Oh, so it's like," and he's like, "Don't you fucking say it, don't you dare." It's like, "Oh, so it's basically." It's just this, right? And then they choke you to death. And it's fun. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, I guess I could draw a scene of the two rats without actually drawing it as a scene. I can just do them and the things closest around them. So them standing here, two of them, right? And then just like enough of the stall where you can tell that it's a stall. So just like this, and like so trinkets, da 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 da, trinkets here, and like that's it, I guess. I guess that would be it. Just a little, maybe like a little bit of the ground around them as well. So like the dirt hole and like a little bit of the concrete, so you can tell that it's in an area that has concrete. And maybe like a bit of the back wall as well. I'm getting too far. Maybe a little bit of back wall. Like just around the hatch, maybe? So you can tell that the hatch is in a wall. No, but... hole gone. No, I feel like the hole is an important framing device. So I'm still gonna have to do the hole in the back. But like, why would their hole be circular? That doesn't make sense. Their hole would be fucking square. One of my world building project was compared to yours. I'm sorry to hear that. I am very sorry to hear that. I hope you get well soon. Oh no. Oh, I haven't even considered that actually. Inku, that's terrible. The more I think about it, no. I'm gonna be the culprit of people referring to my stuff saying like, "Oh, it's basically like the Monster Garden, right?" No, I can't be that. I don't want to be at the end of that sentence. I feel ashamed. You become the thing. Yes, I've become the thing that I hated most, or whatever the saying is. But yeah, I think something like this would be simple enough. I mean, we literally don't have to draw the hole. I think I can just draw the beams holding up the hole. Uh okay, draw like a little bit of the wall as well, like fading into the distance, like wait, I'm gonna make a reference, but I actually have to check if it was a fever dream or actually existed. Yeah. Okay, maybe somebody's gonna get. I was about to say, have the background fade into the distance like Caillou. You know, the kids' fucking cartoon Caillou? Because I have a memory of knowing that the animation in that kid's cartoon, like sometimes they draw the background sort of fading off into white, so it looks like it's like painted. Um, But I was like, wait, was that actually a thing? Like, I know Caillou existed, yeah. But I was like, wait, did they do that with the background sort of like fading off? Yeah, but they did, yeah. I just searched it up. Yeah, yeah, they do that. Why is everybody chanting hole? What did I miss? I searched up I searched something up for like a millisecond. Are there giants in the Monster Garden? Not yet. Circular hole is the shape of a cheese wheel too. Are you saying that if I make the hole in the wall square and we gift the rats a cheese wheel, they won't be able to get the circle into the square hole? Like they'll have to change the shape of their tunnel to fit the cheese wheel. You know you can put a cheese wheel sideways, right? And then it would be a square, a rectangle, so you could just roll it down a square hallway. No, you can't. Yeah, you can. You can. You can turn. It's a 3D object, and you know what else you could do? You could cut it into smaller pieces and then transport those individually. Like no, you could. I'm gonna draw it up right now. I'm gonna draw it up right now. Hold on. So you see, if the hallway behind them, right, their hole is square like this, and they get a cheese wheel that's this big, right? And the rats are here, and they're like, damn, we can't fit this cheese wheel into the square hole. Now look, I'm gonna move this over to the hole, and you see, the wheel is wider than the hole. But if you think about it, you could turn the wheel sideways, and then it would look like fuck. Hold on. Oh no, hold on. I have a selection that I need to deselect. Control Shift S. What the fuck did I just do? Wait, what was the keybind? Oh no. Hotkey for Control Shift A. Yeah, Control Shift A. There you go. If you turn the wheel sideways, it would be this shape. Yeah? And then you could fit it in the hole. No, you heretic stuff. Doesn't compute. Damn. Damn. Well, that's just a shame, isn't it? They need. They're just like Skaven. Dein, dein Bärenbruder? Bruder? Bärenbruder? What does that even mean? Bären? Is Bären like bear? Like a bear? Dein Bärenbruder. I'm gonna grind you up in a coffee grinder like I threatened before. That was not a it was a promise. How dare you fucking just compare them that simply? They are not just Skaven. Solution oval hole. This is now your Germa era. Germa? Oh, Germa. I was confused. Yeah. The guy. What did he do? I'm not that well versed in like streamer things. Like I was streaming on Twitch, but I wasn't like I didn't know much about the streaming community. I still don't. What did Germa do? I hear his name a lot. I don't know what he did. He's a bit unhinged. Oh, fair enough then. How do we explain the meat grinder? What? How do we explain the meat grinder, chat? He had a meat grinder? He's just a wacky feller? Okay. I if he's just a wacky feller, he's probably nice. He's probably a nice guy. Funnily enough, also obsessed with rats. Huh. Do you have a Discord community? Yeah, we have a Discord. It's in the about section on YouTube. If you click in my about section on YouTube, there should be a link there to the Discord. So you can join. I'm in there quite often actually because I don't have a life. So I just hop into the Discord and talk to random people or just lurk there to listen to people. But sadly, because I'm fated to be the owner of that server, I can't go in there quietly, not having anybody notice. So everybody's just like, oh my god, it's Simon. And I'm like, yes. I guess I could disguise myself and put a mustache on my logo so nobody can tell who I am, but I don't want to deceive people like that. It feels wrong. If you give a Hatchfolk a huggy, what? Bjolnir, what? If you give a Hatchfolk a huggy, what's a huggy? Is that like another tablet brand that I haven't heard of? I use a Oogie. What do Huggy use? What do they make? A Huggy roll? A type of bread? Or sandwich? Oh. Hmm. Am I saying it right? I'm sure I'm not saying it right, though. I'm sure it's not called a Huggy. Because that just sounds wrong for some reason. That's not how a word should sound, I feel. Yeah, a Huggy. Huggy? Huggy? A Huggy? A Hoogie? It's like that book. If you give a mouse a muffin, but you give a big old Hoogie to a Hatchfolk. Perfect. I would love to get to talk one day. Yeah, I'm in there. Yeah, I feel like we'll have to end the stream soon, even though we barely got anything done. Because it's almost 1 a.m. and I want sleep. That's something I'm allowed to have, surprisingly enough. So yeah, I'll think about the composition of this later. I'll probably post it in the community section on YouTube, so you'll see some updates on what I'm tinkering away at. But yeah, it was fun. Yes, indeed it was fun, and it was stupid and silly, like all the other streams have been. And not much drawing was done. As always, same as the other streams. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream. I'll see you in the next one, or the next video, or whenever, in the server, probably as well. So yeah, take care. I very much enjoyed you guys' company. Take care, take care. Well, good night, I guess. That'd be more appropriate. Good night.